Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A very hilarious situation here. And we have the ambassador of Ukraine to Israel. Then we have the foreign minister of Russia. And we have the foreign minister of Israel. The Ukrainian ambassador to Israel is angry that the foreign minister of Israel spoke with the foreign minister of Russia. So, I find this very hilarious, and I will tell you why. I'm just going to read you the title here. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. And Ukrainian ambassador criticizes Israel because of conversation with Russian foreign minister. It indicates change in policy. So, Ukrainian ambassador to Israel, Yevhel Kornichuk, has criticized the conversation between Eli Cohen, Israel foreign minister, and Sergei Lavrov, his Russian counterpart. Now, this is the way I see it. Let's say I have a wife, and we divorce. For whatever reason, we don't get along, So, I divorce, or she divorced, and we don't get along, and I move out. And then at one point I come to speak to a neighbor. Just a neighbor, not a friend, a neighbor. And then after I leave, my wife sees us, she saw me speaking with the neighbor. And after I leave, my wife, ex-wife, gets all angry with the neighbor because the neighbor spoke with me. So in her brain, the neighbor should have not spoken to me. So my ex-wife, in this case, is the Ukrainian ambassador to Israel. Then you have the neighbor, which is just another country, just a regular neighbor, not a friend. And that's me, which is Russia. So I came and spoke with the Israeli guy, right, the foreign minister, and Ukraine is all upset. My ex-wife. Is this paranoia? What is it? Craziness? What would she expect? Nobody on this planet to speak with me because probably I'm a bad dude, according to her? Yes. Now, this is how I see this little tantrum of this little Ukrainian ambassador to Israel. Let's see, maybe he's got some reasons, extra reasons. According to Kornichuk, communication with Lavrov indicates a change in the country's policy. So the fact that my neighbor spoke with me and did not ignore me or call me names, that shows a change in policy of the neighbor, not a normality like, well, I don't hate you, I don't love you, hey, how are you? Good. How is your family? Great. How is your family? I don't know. And that's it. No. He should have been saying, no, Emil, you're a bad dude when no one talks to you. Since Israel, diplomats have not spoken with Lavrov since the beginning of the war. Yeah, could be perceived as a change of policy, but maybe didn't have any reasons to do so. Maybe I just stopped in the neighborhood, and it's the first occasion we had. I saw him outside, I stopped, I spoke with him, and moved on. He also noted Israel's incomprehensive policy regarding the war. That means he's upset that Israel doesn't see the war the way she wants to see the divorce. So she wants to see the divorce, probably. She is the victim, Emily is the bad dude. So everybody must see it that way. If not, you're a bad dude immediately. So he also noted Israel's incomprehensible policy regarding the war because the country in no way condemns massive strikes on critical infrastructure in Ukraine. Well, it's not only that, it's more than that. You don't do the same thing? No. Okay. Like, hey, don't blame Emil. Maybe you did some hanky-panky too. No, I didn't. Okay, now we can't talk logically anymore, or a fact-based conversation. And I'm quoting, Israel is unique from the point of view of our partners. It is silent. End quote. Well, maybe Israel knows more and doesn't want to get dirty with your dirt. She just wants to stay out of it. I think that's what it is. Well, it helps here and there. I mean, it gave you certain kind of intelligence access, didn't they? They gave you, I think, there were some pictures with some vehicles that were armored vehicles or something like this, made in Israel. How about that? They didn't give Russia anything. Oh, that was not enough. It doesn't work on the Jews. They came up with this. It's never enough. So don't try this with them. That's why Israel is very confident. You're gonna do nothing. Nothing to Israel. Nothing. I mean, you can try to create shame and shame Germany for the Second World War because Zelensky and the 3 other guys are in charge of Ukraine. You can blame, I don't know, the whole Europe for whatever you want. You can make up stuff, but you can't tell Israel anything. When they're going to tell Israel that something with the Palestinians, they're going to bomb you in 3 seconds. You don't wanna pick that up with Israel. Look what they do to Iran and to Syria. They go in and out whenever they want and nobody condemns them. Do you think they're going to be shy to send you a few bombs? Maybe they're going to take Zelensky with them while they come and drop a few bombs. You know what I mean? Zoom, boom, and this is Zelensky coming with you. Yeah, so take it easy. Take it easy. Anyway, according to an unnamed Israeli diplomat, Cohen delivered the message to Lavrov from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken that Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is ready to act as a mediator if one of the parties asks him to do so. Good, see? Oh, you don't want peace? Is that what it is? You don't want Blinken to even utter words to Netanyahu about peace? Is that what it is? I'm starting to think that maybe it's not the United States in full control of Ukraine. I think these corrupt guys are in charge of Ukraine actually. And I think they have some things that we don't know yet on some people at a certain kind of level in these civilized countries because they're too eager to provide weapons and money from their people to these guys, not to Ukraine, to these guys. I'm not certain. Maybe after Biden dies, the whole policy will change immediately because then the blackmail could just be dropped, if you know what I mean. I'm just asking questions, or I'm trying to think about things because it's it's very, very strange that before the war, Ukraine was one of the most corrupt countries in the world, according with many officials and many presidents and many assessments. And all of a sudden, everybody right now is looking at Zelensky and all these guys as being the saints. Even Zelensky had that sponsor, I can't remember his name, who lived in occupied territories somewhere in Palestine because he was afraid to come to, in Israel actually, afraid to come to, he was an oligarch, and I think he's Jewish as well. He supported Zelensky, became president, and came back because he was afraid to be prosecuted. And then he came back under Zelensky, and he's won each and every freaking case he had with the state. Strangely, just decided just then. Maybe because of that kind of corruption. And I don't know exactly who's who, what's what over there. So make no mistake, sometimes I'm afraid that this Zelensky, who just show up in the United States dressed like a thug, allowed to enter the Senate dressed like a thug, go to the White House dressed like a thug, but he's the great hero. He thinks it's like Fidel Castro or something. No, I mean, if I would have been American, I wouldn't have invited him over here. That's my first thing. The second one, change your fucking clothes and take a shower or two. Shave or whatever. You don't disrespect our Congress. But hey, I'm not saying about the Congress, the members of the Congress. They could be disrespected because they're weasels. But at least the institution that used to represent something, and it represents something, should. The problem is the members dragged it down. And the same with the White House. Well, we had weasels, but we have some good presidents. United States of America. But for the institution, at least, have some respect. I would not let him come in. What are they going to do? Turn around and go back home? Go. Don't let the door kick you in your little balls because you were dragging them after you. Anyway, not because they're so big and they show from behind. On January 2nd, Eli Cohen, the newly appointed Israeli foreign minister, stated that Israel would start talking less publicly about the war between Russia and Ukraine. That means I wash my hands. Remember that one? That's a Jewish custom, not a Roman custom. That's why when Pilate says, I washed my hands, I'm washing my hands, that was very unusual for the Bible, you know what I mean? Because it was a Jewish custom, not a Roman custom. And I don't think that leader would do that for the Jews over there. Remember when they brought Jesus and all that? Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. So just so you know. Anyway, let's go back to our little ship here. So Israel doesn't want to get involved because Israel and the Jews, Israelis, however you want to call them, they are long-term. They're not like short-sighted, long-sighted. I'm not talking about Zelensky or Zhmihal or Reznikov or Yermak. No, not about those. About the guys in Israel. I mean, how in the hell do you think they survived so long with everybody giving them so much love, if you know what I mean? So anyway, and they're still standing, and standing very well, looking at the States and any other Western countries, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, they were not supposed to talk because the Ukrainians say so. What is this? As I said, is narcissistic craziness? I don't know. After this shit ends, it can't. I don't know for how long it can continue like this. I mean, remember, let's say Russia tomorrow collapses. This show will still be going on. It's not going to be like, okay, now let's move to something else. Ukraine will not shut the fuck up. I guarantee you that. Why? I mean, it's like you got in a candy shop. Not 50 Cent song. But anyway, got in a candy shop over there. Everything is for free. Just to grab. And it's got a lot of sacks to fill. You know, and put around, and he's not gonna be Santa Claus. You know, he's gonna be the one with the little thing around. He's like a raccoon. Let's get everything out. So they will continue their looting. But I think I'm suspecting that that's on Biden. Once Biden is gone, the whole balance breaks. The scale just collapses. We'll see. And the money that these companies are making, the arms industry, the banking system, and the energy corporations probably will be a little bit because however you wanna look at it, even thieves have honor, you know, among themselves. They have a certain kind of honor, code of honor, if you want. You want to look at it that way. Look into it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.